picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clout. When you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too, cause I done fed up. You done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty Waterloo. Pressure want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1,500 US and they're telling me super salary.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Sujong?
My relationship? Nothing. He is
basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection. A quick one for you. And the last time I said that, somebody came up to me and said, man, you little bias. Erection is a man thing. What happened to the women? So I got a woman thing for you. And hear me, from the moment she slime up till you get caught up, we gonna take care of you.
Nous voyons comment tout le monde est arrivé. Ils ont compté avec les blagues, vous avez levé, on va lever, c'est pour qu'ils police. Nous voyons qu'on fait de tout mari. On va lever avec notre maman, papa. On va lever.
So it's in the rice price.
The rice price, something to do, they're going to attack with me, man, so mari. They're attacking the way they're going to tell me nothing. And they're going to people every week, they're going to okay.
All right, good night. Welcome to Straight Up. It's 8 minutes after 9 o'clock in beautiful Guyana. My name is Mark Benchap, 107.1 FM. How are you doing? Let's say right off the bat, I know some of you were looking for me last evening. It's okay. It's okay. You know, when you get up in age, you know, sometimes you got to take a break. And it is what it is. So my apologies. But you know, the race is not for the swift, right? But those who can endure it to the end. And you guys know I've been here with you guys, and I intend to be here with you guys for as long as possible. I'm not just an overnight blow. Sorry about that. You should see my facial expression when I say overnight blow, come around elections time, blow, make a bunch of noise and leave. No, I do not leave you guys in the wilderness. I do not. I am here with you guys. In the good days and the bad days and the not so good days, I am here with you guys. The Christmas blue will come and they're gone. making a lot of noises, Sometimes they don't know what they're making noise about, but they make their noise and they blow their whistle, if ever they can blow, and then they leave, and then they cuss up and they go on and they throw tantrums and they roll in the mud and they do all sort of things. They lift their skirts and they get the attention. They turn around, they do the thing, they do all manner of things. But the old tiger is still here with you. The old tiger is going to be here with you. The old tiger is not here to boast and brag about anything. The old tiger is just here in this little studio doing the things for you and shining the bright light in your direction. And in doing so, exposing corruption, especially by those vagabonds in Guyana, those vagabonds who don't want you to expose, or they don't want people to expose corruption. That is what we do right here on 107.1 FM. Share the link and let people know that we're on. Some people have been complaining. They do all sort of things. They run on other people's programs or other people's show or other people's little noise-making forum, and they complain that I blocked them. One of those culprits is gone around. Francine Cruz, I noticed she's here with us tonight. That bingo, to me. Sean Anthony Ben, good night. How are you? Good to see you. And so Francine Cruz has been peddling a lie on other people's programs, the good programs, mind you. Has been peddling a lie that she was blocked on 107. Why do people feel that every single thing is a block? If they don't understand modern technology, figure out, instead of spreading propaganda and silly rumors. Okay? But anyways, I noticed she's back and good for Francine. I'm going to warn you, please stop with the propaganda, stop with the rumors about who is CIA, who's not. And those are silly talks. Those things are over with. Stop it. Stop with the nonsense. Wayne Caesar is with us, and Wayne Caesar right off the bat, Wayne Caesar is saying, share the link. Share the link. Well, Wayne knows that on 107.1 FM, we do what we have to do. And if people want to share the link, then we appreciate it. It's not about the numbers. It's not about quantity. Because this thing is not billing a sweat and see how many viewership and who this. We're not about that. We are just not about that. It's about quantity. Intelligent discussions. And that's what we have here on 107.1 FM. All right, that's out of the way. Good night to all of you. Paula Jones, Jamal Aziz, every single one of you. Good night. Whether you like us or you don't like us. It's an age of democracy. We don't hurt people for that. The PPP does that, right, Mr. Cool? The PPP, they go after people because of their views, because of their political views. That is what they do. And they want you to be like a Bond. They want you to lick up the licky Bond, James Bond and them. They want people to licky. And we na licky. We na debby. We na dubby. We na dibby. Sorry about that. Sometimes I get a little bit carried away. I don't know. You guys can pray for me too sometimes, right? Especially the older folks like Mark Welcome, also known as Mr. Cool and others, the older folks, Theodore Adams. Pray for me. Sometimes I do get carried away when I see people like Bond, that fake Bond, calling people like, what's that guy, Dorrell, DJ Magnum, calling DJ Magnum licky. I don't know. Selwyn Peters, you don't get to dictate what we talk about here on this platform from 2025 and development. If you want to talk about development, call these girls, call these guys, call them in Guyana, and you talk about development. You don't get to dictate what we talk on this platform. Go into that corrupt parliament where rigged elections that you condone, Selwyn Peters. Okay? You, furthermore, come downstairs. Come downstairs, Selwyn Peters. Come downstairs. Come downstairs, and I really do mean it. Come downstairs, Selwyn Peters. So don't come here trying to say that you want to have a discussion about development in Guyana and progress. This is not the platform for you to come and dictate. Go to Freedom House. Go to your new house. Go straight to Freedom House, and you talk to them there, Selwyn Peters. Talk to them there with your bowl in your hand to talk about development and what they should do to ensure that Guyana is able to breathe again. That is what you have to do. So you're going to come here right now and take us off and hear what Selwyn Peters is trying to do. Let's go to Selwyn Peters. He knows we like to pick on him while he's drinking his soup. Selwyn Peters says, let's talk about the development of Guyana from 2025 to 2030 and the bright future ahead in our oil-rich economy. Can somebody go over to where Selwyn Peters is right now on his Facebook page? Don't go by his house, please. And just say, come downstairs. You guys repeat. You guys know that song, Come Downstairs, right? Say to Selwyn Peters right now, come downstairs, Selwyn, come downstairs. Come downstairs, Selwyn, come downstairs. And so these guys, they want to come on this platform, right, or platforms like these, and try to dictate, try to make it look as though we don't talk about developments. We have been talking about development. Subdrinkus, what was his name again? Selwyn. We have, that is what we talk about here. Development of our country. We expose corruption. That is what we want to talk about. Go to Freedom House and let them talk about what plans they have to develop Guyana other than the corruption. That is what they do. Selwyn, come downstairs. Selwyn, come downstairs. Selwyn Peters. In my Lola, what's her name? Lola Doll voice. Come downstairs, Selwyn. Come downstairs. Big, tweet. Come downstairs, Selwyn. Come downstairs. Big. Come downstairs. Come downstairs, Selwyn. Come downstairs. Telling people, but they must talk about development from 2025 to 2030. What development? Cash grant? Cash grant? Cash grant is how you develop a country? Corruption is how you develop a country? Selwyn, come downstairs. Selwyn, come downstairs. Selwyn, come downstairs. Right. These guys are something else. They're presumptuous. They don't go to Irfan and say, don't discriminate against people. Don't do that. Don't rig the elections. They don't go. But they want to run around on these quality programs, and they want to make themselves sound nice. They're intelligent. And so these programs that expose corruption, they want to come here in the nights. Well, we're glad that he watches this show. We're glad. We're glad. We're happy. Because they know that what they get from here is sensible content. Right here on 107.1 FM. And so they come out and they throw these things to make it look as though they're serious about Guyana. They're not serious about Guyana. They're serious about their soup bowl. And they are licky. Send for the Spanish, whatever. Them are licky. James Bond is a licky. Him a lick from morning, noon, and night. Them a licky. That is what they do. So let them not set the agenda for us on these programs. The agenda is to expose corruption. And these guys do not mean well for Guyana. It's all about themselves. And what sort of soup, the ingredients in the soup. I don't know what Selwyn Peters is licking there from that spoon. I don't know. I don't care. But do not come here to set an agenda for us, because you do not care about us. You are not one of us. You have been sidelined. You have been led astray. And so we do not trust you. Development for us is not development for you. Justice for us is not justice for you. Your kind of soup is not our kind of soup at all. So do not, please, let me say this to Selwyn Peters. Do not come here and tell us how to run our show. Do not do it. Otherwise, every time we see you here, Selwyn, in our Lola Doll's voice, and as Lola Doll is recovering, I call and I ask on you to please continue to pray for her. But in our Lola Doll voice, we say to Selwyn Peters, and you guys can repeat. You guys can repeat right there in the comment section as we sing along this song. Those who know it. But be cautious. Don't thing it up too rough and make it a little too thing up in the, you know what I mean by that. So let's go. 1, 2, 3. Selwyn, come downstairs. Selwyn, come downstairs. Selwyn, come downstairs. Come downstairs, Selwyn, come downstairs. Good night again. You know, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting older, you know, and the older I get, I don't know, the little, you know, we all remember our high school days, our primary school days, and so forth and so on. And we have fun, right? But I don't know, the older I get, to me, the more fun at old age, right? The more fun. Forget about it. Good looks and these things as I get older. I know that, but please, we're not here to discuss that, right? And now that we are as we get older, let me just say thank you all for the birthday wishes. Every single one of you who called me, who messaged me, who, well, nobody sent a raise, but that's okay. But thank you all so much, wherever you are. Some of you messaged me on Facebook Messenger, and I haven't even responded to all of you as well. If you are one and you're watching right now, you're listening, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And those of you who have been trash talking me, that I'm 72, I'm 74, I'm 92, I'm 69, all these sort of things, I know who you are. But I thank you, though. I thank you. They always have something to say about me, my age, have something to say about something. But I love you all. I do. Moving on. Thank you all so much. And those of you who celebrated your birthday over the week or whatever, today, tomorrow, you know we're with you guys. And you know we love you. And you know we want to say happy birthday. Raquel Gentle, you picked up on that one so quickly. Naughty girl. And you know, tonight happens to be, and some people, I couldn't figure this out when I was a little boy. How is it that my birthday is before my mother's birthday, right? And today is my mother's birthday. And apparently I am older than her. Because if I am 72 or 73, and my mother she's not even that close to that age. And so tonight is her birthday. Today is her birthday, the 10th of September. And I'm the 8th of September. And so I want to say happy birthday to her if she's watching. And we want her to be around for another, let me see, maybe another 35, 40 years so that she can see her son become somebody even better or greater. Happy birthday to my mother. And those of you who born on September 10th, also, happy birthday to you, all of you. All right, so here is what's happening now. We got all of those things out of the way, and we ask you to continue to pray for Lola Doll. Other things are happening. You know, she is recovering. She gave a statement to the police. One suspect, we are told, is out of police custody. We're told that this guy, Thomas, is out of police custody. The police, they haven't released the name of the first suspect who was picked up. But we are told, according to a source, that this guy is the first suspect. He is no stranger to law enforcement. In 2019, he was charged with murder, the murder of a guy somewhere out in Eccles there. But the police, they are now saying that after 72 hours, now the police, they're accustomed to these sort of things, right? After 72 hours, they had to let him go. That's it. They had to let him go. Typical of the Guyana police force. Make it appear as though they're doing something, and so they grab individuals. Now, I don't know whether this guy is or took part in the killing of, sorry, I take that back. Well, in the killing of that first guy in 2019. I don't know, but he was freed because a police officer didn't turn up. Now, I don't know also whether he took part in the shooting of Lola Doll. Lolita Calendar. I don't know, but the police picked him up and they let him go after 72 hours. We're told that placed on station bail, $500,000, Guyana dollars, that is, which is about a little over 2,050 US or somewhere thereabout. And so the other suspect, this guy, Paul Dabby Jr., no stranger to law enforcement in Guyana and no stranger to law enforcement outside of Guyana, in the US and other places. No stranger at all. In fact, he's no stranger, so much so that OFAC sanctioned him recently. Paul Dabby Jr., aka Rondell, sanctioned by OFAC. He wasn't the only one. Mark Cromwell, also known as D-Mund, sanctioned by the US. Randolph Duncan, aka Randolph or Rudolph Duncan, sanctioned by the US. Hemnat Saw, senior superintendent of the Guyana police force, sanctioned by the US. Guess for what? Not for smuggling gold. Traffickers, drug traffickers. Imagine, forget about these other guys like Mark Cromwell. Everyone knows what they're up to. Paul Dabby Jr. But Hemnat Saw, a senior superintendent of the Guyana police force, sanctioned. And no one is saying anything. Jack Jay isn't saying anything. The Home Affairs Minister isn't saying anything. Mohammed Irfan Ali isn't saying anything at all. What has happened to this senior police officer who was sanctioned for drug trafficking by the United States of America? No word. He's still being paid, but yet these vagabonds in the PPP regime, these scamps in the PPP regime, these corrupt SOBs in the PPP regime would like you to believe that they are going to tackle corruption. Irfan Ali, and that is why we notice our executive producer, the headline is Hypocrites, PPP Hypocrites. That is who, that is what they are. PPP Hypocrites. Look, listen. Sorry, I sound like Wayne Caesar there for a minute. Look, listen, right? This newspaper, they're saying, well, they address Irfan Ali as president. I do not address him as president unless I use the word installed. And just like he was installed in 2020, he was installed again to do the bidding of those who like oil money. So this paper says, Irfan Ali promises anti-corruption. Really? Anti-corruption? Start with your government. Start with your office, Irfan Ali. Start right in your office. and then you move over to Jack Dave's office, and then you move over to Mark Phillips' office, and then you go in all of the ministries. And I want to sound like that pastor that had a small party, and she spoke about the corruption. She said, all of the ministry of housing, ministry of health, ministry of this, ministry of that, ministry of infrastructure. You start with that. Ministry of education or uneducation. Start with those. Start with your government. Start with your installed government. Don't try to come and, as they say in the street, pomposette people with a bundle of lies. And some people would say a bundle of scandal, a bundle of scandal, right? Okay, you guys got that message for sure, didn't you? And so these PPP hypocrites, they'd like us to believe that they want to develop Guyana. They could tell soup drinkers like a Selwyn Peters and push that down, Selwyn Peters. Sorry, I had to pause. Push that down, Selwyn Peters' throat. Now, don't get carried away. Don't get naughty at all. Only the likes of Selwyn Peters would accept that, would agree with what these vagabonds are saying in the PPP about they want to tackle corruption. And now let me say this, especially the people who don't really know the PPP and who believe, those who believe that the PPP means well. The PPP doesn't mean well. The only time the PPP appears to mean well is when it comes to more corruption, more stealing. That is what they are planning to do. They are a pack of thieves, a pack of vagabonds, a pack of no good. Nima Karam, Chamar, Katahar, Korhis, Chatris. That is what they are about. It is never about the development. And I really do mean it when I say it, and I pronounce it how they usually, development. It is never about the development of the country. The only time they appear that they want to develop the country is when they want to control the masses, when they want to control the message, when they want to shut down radio stations, TV stations, when they want to stifle people, when they want to punish people. And so for these vagabonds, these PPP vagabonds, when they come to you, well, you know they can't fool us. We know them. Others may not know the PPP that well, but we know them. We know what they are about. And so we're not going to take swar from the likes of that vagabond, that individual who's part of that vagabond team, Selwyn Peters, to tell us that we need to talk about development. Of course, we talk about development all the time. Human development, infrastructure. We talk about all these things every single day, every single night. But because of how and where Selwyn Peters has his head straight up. Sorry about that, guys. You guys are naughty. That is where he has his head. So he cannot think clearly. He's like a James Bond. He's like a Jermaine Figueroa. He's like these others, and you know who they are. A Geeta Chandan. Well, forget about Geeta. Geeta says she went back home. A Daniel C. Ram. Well, Daniel feel that he just went over a little bit for a couple of years with the PNC app. No, and he went back home, and so forth and so on. And there are others. I want you guys to hear me out. There are others too.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection.
from that. And that is what these guys go over to the PPP for. They feel that economic value is that of a blue pill. And you guys know, politically speaking, blue pill, because that is what these guys go. They don't go for economic development or anything. They go as long as they get sufficient money to buy their blue pill. They go over there. It is all about
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection.
that is all they are about. And you, good night again. Welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benshap. There are other things we want to talk about, and we will talk about those other things. Look, let me say this to you. As we talk about this young man who lost his life, lots of things. He's a conservative. He defends the ultra right wing and so forth and so on. And so one of the things that he says that I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. And so he said it's okay, it's acceptable. Unfortunately, this young man was shot earlier today in Utah, and he died a few hours later. Charlie Kirk died this afternoon. He was shot, badly wounded, and he died a couple hours after. Now, lots of people may have what they have to say for or against or whatever. We're not here to condone and laugh and skin our teeth over any killings or so forth and so on. We do not do that on 107. And so to his wife and children, our condolences. Now, hear me out. Hear me out on this here. Hear me out. The PPP hypocrites in Guyana. I have seen some of their comments, and they suddenly understand the value of free speech. Some of these vagabonds in the PPP in Guyana who are now saying that, look at this guy. This guy was killed, and therefore we must respect free speech. Fair enough. We must respect free speech, whether in the United States or whether in Guyana. But the funny thing is, those vagabonds in Guyana who are now talking about free speech and the death of Charlie Kirk. You guys know where I'm heading with this, right? Charity begins at home. The same corrupt PPP guys in Guyana who are talking about free speech and making it look as though they know much. Some of them probably this is the first time they're hearing about Charlie Kirk. But all they heard is that this guy got killed as a result of his speech or speeches made prior to today. They're now hearing about this guy. But free speech becomes a matter of concern for them in the corrupt PPP regime. But hear me out. What about the others in Guyana who were jailed because of free speech? What about others who were killed in Guyana because of free speech? Ronald Waddle, Courtney Crummy Wing, and others who were killed because of free speech. Should I stop there? I don't think so. What about others who were jailed because of free speech? What about others who expressed themselves through their constitutional rights by protesting or shot with pellet bullets? Some were killed, some were jailed, and even wrongfully charged with terrorism. A simple protest. You round individuals up and you charge them, guess what? Terrorism. Dozens of persons. And this wasn't 25 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. This was just the other day. And so the corrupt PPP folks, you corrupt PPP folks who are watching right now, Y'all have no moral authority. In fact, y'all have no shame to come out of your pump station and pretend as though you believe in free speech. No, you do not. What you guys believe in is in control speech. You want to be able to control people, control people's minds. And so if they don't think like how you vagabonds, you crooks, you murderers at Freedom House think, then everybody else is wrong and you guys are the only right ones. So in other words, follow your path and everything will be okay. Like the Bonds and them, licky like them. Lick your boots, lick everything for you, like Selwyn Peters they're doing, licking your soup, and God in heaven knows what else. But whatever else they're doing, that's none of our business right here on 107.1 FM. We do not mind people's personal business. No. We do not do that. We stick strictly to the politics. Now, the PPP again. So many people were murdered under the PPP regime, slaughtered. Some for freedom of speech, some for having an opinion, some for being part of a political party. All these sort of things. And, when I saw today some of these vagabonds in the PPP talking about freedom of speech, you sit dunk till in Guyana, and suddenly you are concerned about freedom of speech in the United States of America. But when we exercise our constitutional rights in the United States of America to express ourselves, of course, to give an opinion as to how corrupt the government of Guyana is, you guys bumps raise, whatever else raise, it raises. And so you want to attack individuals in the United States of America for expressing themselves and for exercising our constitutional rights. First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of expression. And so you guys have a problem in the PPP, y'all have a problem with that. And so suddenly, because it's convenient for you guys to say, oh my gosh, freedom of expression, oh, freedom of speech, this guy got killed. And again, there's no need to condone this sort of gun violence. Absolutely none. And I agree with President Barack Obama, who said that we don't yet know the circumstances or what motivated the individual to shoot and kill Charlie Kirk. We don't. And so President Obama did the right thing. He extended his condolences on behalf of his wife and his family to the wife and children of Charlie Kirk, and rightly so. But what I'm saying is that the PPP should not be doing that, because they should look at how they treat citizens in Guyana. They should look how they treat opponents, political opponents in Guyana. They starve them, they kill them, they send them to jail, trumped up charges, terrorism charge. Where else in the world do you get charged with terrorism for a simple protest? Where else other than Guyana? And look who 99% of the individuals who have been charged on that trumped up charge of terrorism for simple protest, the constitutional rights of Guyana to go out and protest peacefully. And you charge them with acts of terrorism. And the entire country is quiet. People hardly say anything. You grab them and you charge them with some dotish cybercrime because you don't like, you in the PPP don't like what the people have to say. And so you get the cybercrime law to attack your political opponents. All because people have an opinion. And we are hearing the dangerous grounds that Irfan Ali now wants to walk again, hours after he was installed again. I was going to say sworn in, right? But that was an installation. Hours after He is saying that they are going to go after people who spread propaganda. Well, propaganda makes for a healthy, good propaganda makes for a healthy democracy. And what is propaganda for these pacos in the PPP? He simply means those who speak the truth and expose the corrupt PPP regime. They are going to go after those individuals, whether they're in Guyana, and then here we go. I want you guys to hear me out on this, or whether they're outside of Guyana. So is this Paku, Irfan Ali, and Jack Dale, the other Paku, are they saying that people, regardless of where they are, whether in the United States of America, whether they're in the UK, whether they're in Canada, or wherever they are, they don't have a right to exercise the constitutional rights of wherever they are, and that they have to adhere to that corrupt law in Guyana? No. No. It doesn't work like that. And I'm saying this to you guys out there. Do not allow the corrupt PPP to bluff you guys. Do not allow that. Do not allow them to bluff you guys at all. So guess what they do as well? They monitor these programs as though we care. Right? And then they put the corrupt Ethnic Relations Commission to monitor programs too. And these PACUs at ERC, the so-called Ethnic Relations Commission, they would send people inbox messages. Be careful with what you say. Furthermore, the head of ERC, y'all let me sing the song for him in Lola, what's her name again? Lola Doll voice. Come downstairs to the head of the ERC. And all of the commissioners of ERC, every single one, maybe except a guy by the name of, let me see if you know the commissioners there. Norris Witter, except Norris Witter. All of them, come downstairs now, come downstairs. You know, the head of Ethnic Relations Commission is the DPP's husband. They're all connected to CIOG, the Central Islamic Organization of Guyana, a very powerful organization, and an organization that is said to be connected to the PPP. So when the PPP sneezes, the guys at CIOG picks it up and they say something in Arabic. Salam alaikum. Something in it. So now I'm not attacking any religion. I wouldn't do that at all. But that is what they do. Back to the ERC, the Ethnic Corrupt Relations Committee. And so this is what they do. If you say anything, they come in your inbox. I had to chase them a couple of times and say, don't come wrong me. Was it that guy, Shara Duncan? What is it he said? Don't come wrong me funny. Don't come wrong. It's funny though. Don't come wrong me funny. So I say to the ERC guys, don't come wrong me funny. And I'm glad that you guys are bold enough to stand up and tell the ERC, the vagabonds at ERC, don't come wrong me funny. Trench Crapo in the house. They got some clown named Sealy. Got to be a clown saying AP and you losers. These vagabonds, he got to drink, he got to suck up, and suck up he does. They got to go in the trench. Thank you, operator. Send them in the trench. We don't need them. We don't need any distraction at all. None whatsoever. They are not going to come here. They're not going to distract us. And they are not going to set our agenda. No. They're not going to do that at all. Not at all. Again, good night and welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Bencha. Now, the other thing I saw the corrupt PPP, they did. They said that Israel's bombing of Qatar was wrong. And they condemned it and all manner of things. Now they're going to rush out to condemn stuff. Condemn this and condemn that. It's just like, come on. Again, the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy again. Because you slaughter people in your own country, in Guyana. For 23 years, they slaughtered people in that country. They jailed people wrongfully, all manner of things. They torture people. They chase people out of Guyana. They tell you you can't go back. And then the supporters say, come back, let it kill you. All these things they do. And then they send policemen and ex-policemen and killers in the United States of America to threaten people. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That is what they do. And so for them to send and say that Israel is wrong and who wrong, whether it's Israel or wherever, not the PPP. The PPP should not be condemning these sort of things. The PPP should not be talking about free speech and these. They should not be talking. They're a pack of hooligans. They're a pack of criminals. They're a pack of hypocrites. Now, the same PPP is talking and issued some letter, hypocrisy, that they're condemning Israel's bombing of some place in Qatar. Now, you know the PPP's connection to Qatar and so forth and so on, right? And so forth and so on. But what they did to the people of Mocha Arcadia is no different than what is happening in places like Gaza and so forth, because Mocha Arcadia is a little Gaza created by the corrupt PPP regime. There are other places across Guyana we can say is a little Gaza. Linden is a little Gaza created by the PPP regime, where they send their goons into those communities and they kill people. They send their goons into Buxton to shoot up and kill people. And this is the problem that I have with corrupt regimes like the PPP. So they see something else happening somewhere, and in order to make themselves look good, as though they believe in democracy and they believe in the rights of citizens, so they're going to issue these hypocritical statements to make it look as though they're nice and they're good and they're peaceful people. No. Charity begins at home. You cannot be slaughtering your own people and then try to condemn others. You cannot be discriminating against your people and then try to condemn others. You can't just go and bulldoze people's communities, people's businesses, people's houses, people's churches, and all these different things, and then try to condemn others. Charity begins at home. Irfan Ali, stop with the hypocrisy. Stop it, because you guys do worse in a little country like Guyana. Let's take a look at what's happening in Linden. Take a look at what's happening in Ituni or Kokwani. There hasn't been much, if at all, any development. The only sort of development you see in those communities, it is because people like Fidel Albert, people like James Harding and others, send little money back home into their communities, into their villages, because they want the best. And that is how these communities are developed. These communities are starved economically and otherwise, and they are criminalized by the corrupt PPP regime because their objective is to keep those communities economically depressed. And this is something that Lincoln Lewis many years ago had coined, economic genocide. And we see it every single day in Guyana. Those who feel it knows it. And so don't let anybody tell you, no, anyone should tell you that the PPP means well and that the PPP, no. The only time that Guyana would be able to breathe again is when the PPP is out of office. And I say to you, those who were part and parcel of APNU and the coalition and the legitimate small parties, keep hope alive. All is not lost. You got to pick yourselves up and be 10 times stronger. And you can happen. You can see the end of the PPP regime probably sooner than later. All right. What else we can talk about? Well, this young man, I don't know how many of you know him. He's a well-known businessman. Yep, he's a businessman. Because if people who smuggle gold and smuggle oil, fuel, and drugs and all these things could be businessmen or businesswomen, this young man can be described because that's what he is, a businessman. His name is Leonard Farley. But everyone knows him as Nelly. He has his little stuff on social media. He has a large following. And so somebody went up to him. I don't know the circumstances, but he was stabbed today. Every single day, something happening in the country. Every single day. And so we want to wish this young man, Nelly, a speedy recovery. How many of you know him? A speedy recovery. And then the police issued a statement earlier today. They're looking for this person. Now let's do the math here. Let's do. I am almost certain this can be critic. It can be Kwame, because one, critic cannot fit in that tight pants, especially in the upper side of upper waist side. He cannot fit in those tight pants because 3 persons cannot fit in that tight pants. So that's not critic. It's not Kwame, because he is not that tall. But I am almost certain, well, there is a high possibility while the police force, while they are looking for a man, this can very well be a woman. Something about this body tells me that it is a high possibility that this is a woman. This could possibly be a woman. Check the walk, check the body, just check it out, man. Check it out. It could be a woman. And while the PPP said they're looking for a man. Check out the tummy side, little small on the upper 2 sides there, right and left. But this could be a woman. It can be Sean Hines, because Sean Hines admitted that these are the things that he does. It can be Hicken, because Hicken is short. This could very well be a woman. While they claim they're looking for a man that threw acid on 2 workers at Balwant Singh's hospital. Speedy recovery. One of the young ladies, oh my gosh, she needs more than just prayers. I don't know what the circumstances may be. I just don't know. But I'm not convinced that this is a man. I'm just not convinced that this is a man. So you take a green hat, you cover up your hair, cover up, make sure everything cover up. Take a look at the shoulders. Check the makeup doesn't look. When I say the physical makeup doesn't look like a man, it doesn't. It's got to be a woman. Got to. See the legs, skinny. Something tells me. I hope they get her or him or whatever. I just hope this doesn't look like a man. Doesn't at all. So what else we can talk about? Oh, let's go to this video here. I want you guys, and there's a reason why, especially you young people. I'm up there now, right? I could say young people. Just imagine that. Gosh, time flies. Take a listen. Take a look at this. Let me see if you guys know where this happened.
Boy, what? Bomboclad live. Yo! Yo! Got you, Paul. Paul, got you. Bomboclad.
So, how many of you guys know where the incident took place? Yanat Elias, yeah. Are you guys there? Jamdong, Jamaica, not GT. Obviously not GT. The only time you hear Jamaican talk is when them chaps DJ and you swear said I'm a Jamaican, right? Yeah, yes. Yeah, hear me. right? And so Brung, the guy named some Brung, apparently killed a couple of people. And then they went to that house, and for about 4 or 5 hours, that's what happened. But there's a reason why, because some of the PPP folks, and even not some PPP folks, but mostly PPP folks, they'll give you the impression as though there's a Wild West in Clarendon, Jamaica, right? But in Guyana is worse than what is happening in Jamaica. A few years back, and this was in 2000, how many of you guys, let me see if you guys remember anything similar to that. One particular incident, there might be many, but one particular incident where the police and the army and everybody went out there and they were busting shots for about 11 hours. One man for 11 hours busting shots. Let me see if you know what go on in Guyana. How many remember that in 2000 there was a scene right there in Guyana? Right in Guyana for 11 hours, the army and every single una smart. There we go. This is it a Toucan suite? Guest house? In Echoes for 11 hours. A guy by the name of London, I believe his name, aka Blackie. Blackie had them busy. That would make what happened in a Jamaica child's play. And I'm not known as see that in Jamaica. In 2000, some of you who probably you weren't born. But in 2000, there was something 11 hours. A guy by the name of Blackie. They claimed that Blackie was wanted for God in heaven knows what. Because during those times, everybody getting blamed except the corrupt PPP regime and their bandits and their murderous crew. And so they bombed this place, they burnt it, and every single thing. And Blackie actually came out. How Blackie came out? Come on, let me see if you guys remember. And these are things you got to remind. You got to let the younger generation know what the PPP did to Guyana. Blackie came out with his hands up in the air. Surrendered. You want him. He came out with his hands in the air. And they bust him up like them just don't care. Bram. Because at that time, many people are of the view that Blackie had a lot to say. And so they just decided, some corrupt individuals of that corrupt Black Clothes Police force, that murderous Black Clothes Police, guess what? Headed by Fraser and them. Murderous. Some of you can't remember those days, Those were dangerous times. If you think Facebook is dangerous, and I see some people like Guyana and cuss up and ting up, they couldn't live in Guyana during those times. Some of them were even afraid to go to Guyana during those times. But those were some dangerous days in Guyana. Those of us who experienced those dangerous days, we can talk about it. Facebook isn't dangerous. The easiest and safest place to talk right now is Facebook. You see all of them will like talk and pick up them chests and cuss up and go on. They couldn't last one day in Guyana during those times. We lived through them. And we can talk about those days with authority. So and this is what, years later, the owner, Norman Trott, sued the corrupt government of Guyana because they destroyed his hotel. And so I think it was 2008, that is when he got some sort of justice. But this is what $125 million, I believe, right? Judgment for Norman Trotz, someone I knew. I'm not sure is he still alive, whether he's still alive or not, but Norman Trotz, they punished that man for all those years, years upon years, because Trotz is not probably someone who looks like Irfan Ali or Jack Dio and them. So this is what it says in his last High Court sitting before his retirement. Justice Singh, that is Justice Jainarine Singh Jr., called the actions of the joint services on the days in question, February 8th and 9th, 2000, improper and impatient. It mattered not whether the man came out dead or alive. The government has offered the plaintiff little or no compensation for his losses and damages to the building. That is what Justice Jainarine Singh Jr. said in his ruling. Years later, no justice. But you let somebody that's connected to the PPP regime, anything happens to them, by tomorrow, they get compensation in the hundreds of millions. And that is what they do. They give their friends and their cronies access to hundreds of millions, whether it's contracts, whether it's pump station that cannot be completed to pump water out of it. That's Guyana right now. That's how corrupt Guyana is. And if you don't have a strong opposition, getting to the opposite, if you don't have a strong opposition to confront a corrupt government like the PPP regime, then you might as well kiss Guyana goodbye. Not so bright days are right around the corner. Who is there to hold the corrupt government, the corrupt installed regime accountable? Who? Others who are like them? Oh, poor Guyana, right? And then we have this guy, Anil Nandalal, now saying Guyana moves to replace 1957 Prison Act with modern rehabilitation focused law. So after you punish people, people have been languishing in prison for many, many years without a trial. Trumped up charges, all manner of things, and suddenly they had 23 years to do this. They never did it. They had 5 years to do it. They never did it. But because I believe of the maybe UNDP or these folks, and these sort of the modernization and the rehabilitation of the prison started under the coalition. This is just a continuation. But they're not going to say that it is something that started under the coalition and that it's financed by the UNDP. And when they got into office, by being installed in 2020, they almost doubled the fees they laid off. They sent packing some of the consultants, and the consultants that look like them, they almost doubled the fees for them. That's what's going on. But this was a project started under the coalition government. They never cared about prison. In fact, many of them should have been in prisons, if you ask me this. Just as what Chetty Jagan wrote in his book, The West on Trial. Chetty Jagan was in prison for a couple mornings. And he said that while being in prison, he's of the belief that those who are in prison do not deserve to be in there. It is those culprits who are outside. And I say this, that right now in 2025, those who are in the Camp Street prisons, Lusignan prison / Pasture, Timeri prison, New Amsterdam prison, and then the other one, Mazaruni. Most of them don't belong there. The people at Freedom House, the occupants at State House, the main occupant of State House, the occupants, most of them at Office of the President, and those who head the ministries, they're the ones who should be in jail. They're the ones who belong in jail, along with their crony friends, their so-called business people in Guyana right now. I don't know. I don't know. Cocaine is probably on the rise in Guyana. Shipment is probably on the rise in Guyana. Maybe you guys will see and hear. Who knows? You will see and hear. Cocaine shipment is on the rise under the PPP regime. They just got installed the other day, and cocaine is still on the rise in Guyana. Oh, Father. What else we can talk about before we go? This guy, Licky Licky, James Bond, also known as Licky Licky, is laughing this guy, Darrell Romeo, aka DJ Magnum, calling DJ Magnum Licky Licky. Who could be more Licky Licky than James Bond? Just imagine someone else who gone into the PPP, James Bond house. Sorry about that, guys. Is calling someone else Licky Licky. What's happening in Guyana? You know, he just jealous that this guy went to State House. And I like how DJ Magnum dealt with him, though. DJ Magnum, be careful with those professional Licky Licky, like Bond and them. They're Licky Licky. They're shameless Licky Licky. But let's deal with this before we go. How many of you remember this guy? I noticed that the police report, they said businessman arrested. And they're talking about this guy here, who is a former cadet officer. His name is Franz Paul. This cadet officer shot that young man there in his mouth, injuring him. He was playing games, Russian roulette with this guy and pulling his trigger, and pow, shot the man in his mouth. Shot the little boy in his mouth. I know about this story. We were there with him, protesting night and day for justice. Franz Paul was the officer, and the police force and the corrupt government protected him. Today again, now he's in trouble. Gun and maybe something. They said something looking like narcotics. Do you know how they're quick to say something resembling or looking like narcotics? But when they arrest other people, they don't say something looking, they say narcotics, right? And so this controversial ex-policeman, something that the corrupt police force didn't put in their statement. They didn't want you guys to know that he's an ex-policeman and that he was in jail before, that he shot this little boy in his mouth. Shot the little boy in his mouth. Y'all gonna learn about Guyana. And then some people want to lecture y'all about the PPP and the PPP means well and this. Y'all gonna wake up. That's all I got to say. That's all. Now, before we go, this guy, he was picked up questioning attempted murder of Lola Doll. Also, her real name, Lolita Calendar. You know what's going to happen? You know they're going to let him go tomorrow because they're going to say that his 72 hours up. And they're going to let him go on $1 million or maybe $1.5 million station bail. And then when they do, they're going to say that he's going to return to the station and all sorts of things. They have no interest in charging anyone with the attempted murder of Lola Doll. The corrupt PPP regime and the corrupt police force, they have no interest in charging their own. None whatsoever. They're fooling people. And so when you see they say that they went at her bedside to question her, and it's just to make it look good. They have no interest in justice. None whatsoever. So watch for the news tomorrow that this guy is going to be released on station bail. I'm out of here. Can't say you didn't hear it. Somebody's asking for Brutus. I don't know where Brutus is. I don't know what Brutus is up to, but it's a good question. Where is Brutus? But I want to stretch it a little further. Where is this guy, Hemnat Saw, who was sanctioned by OFAC, sanctioned by the US, trafficking in drugs? Where is he? Where is this woman? She was also sanctioned. Where is she? Is she still being paid? Where is she? Where are all the folks who were sanctioned by the US? Mark Cromwell, is he still getting, also known as Demon? Is he getting contracts still from the government? Is Paul Dabby Jr., who was sanctioned, getting contracts by the government? Do they still own a gun? Do they still have their gun licenses and these sort of things? What about Randolph Duncan, also known as Rudolph Duncan? But interestingly, though, they're quiet on these guys. Hemnat Saw, Senior Superintendent of Police. What happened to him? I don't know. But let me tell you this before I go. The PPP, they're playing a game with the US. The PPP is still in bed with Maduro. The PPP is still in bed with these sort of regimes. They're trying to survive. That is what they're doing. They're trying to survive. And so they're going to make it appear as though they are not in bed with these people. That's what's going on. Right now, that is what's going on, guys. That's what's going on. I don't know. But hey, this is what I want to say to you. It's a game the PPP is playing. And the US, I hope they're paying careful attention that the corrupt PPP regime is playing a game. Now, what came as a surprise is that the ambassador, the Venezuelan ambassador to Guyana, came out after the elections. And during the course of elections, 2-3 weeks, you're hearing that the Mohammeds who were sanctioned for gold smuggling and all manner of things, who knows, maybe indictments in the US, who knows that? The corrupt PPP regime was saying that the ambassador told them, the Venezuelan ambassador to Guyana told them that the Mohammeds visited and the Mohammeds this and that and all sort of things. And the ambassador, Venezuelan ambassador to Guyana, was quiet. He said nothing. Everybody believed that it was true. Probably still believe that it's true. But he said nothing. As soon as the election's done, as soon as there was a flyover of a military aircraft and so forth in Guyana, Maduro bumps raised, and I am certain that he instructed his ambassador in Guyana to come out and make that statement. To say, no, about the Mohammeds, and there's nothing. My question, though, is, the thing Guyanese are Pacus, right? Why is it that he never said anything all the time? 2-3 weeks. He said not a word. Statements were issued purportedly on his behalf, or things that he said, and he never said a word. Not a single word, guys. Hey, you guys in the comment section, y'all think Guyana, y'all think those corrupt PPP people easy? Them ain't easy. But one thing I'll tell you this. Now that the ambassador, the Venezuelan ambassador to Guyana, comes out and all of a sudden he has a voice, me ain't buying what he said. I ain't buying one thing with what he said. Y'all could buy if y'all want to say. People talking Nepal, okay. Young people, bright people are the future of this world. Young people, bright future, young people are the future of Guyana. Do not get caught up with corrupt individuals. Corrupt people can only save themselves. They can't save Guyana. And Guyana may appear as though things are looking like they change. And be careful with who you put as your leaders. Be careful with your representatives. Some of y'all bombs can raise, but it will come back to haunt y'all. I hope it's soon, because Guyana needs to be on the right track, and it can only be on the right track with good people, honest people, good leaders, honest leaders, not corrupt individuals. I'm out of here. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. God bless.
I can't take it no more. get no more. Imagine 18 hours a blackout, and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear with the citizen. They may want the people speak out.
And I know I said I gotta go, but I forgot one other thing to say to you guys. Look out. Here's what we may end up with in Guyana. You know, Hicken may have to go. He already did what he had to do. He did what he had to do. Hicken may go very soon. Then the head of GCOM may go very soon. Take a look at what's happening there. Who's head of the Guyana Defense Force? Take a look. Who's the head of the government? Take a look. Who will soon be the head of the opposition? Well, not my opposition, but who will soon be the head of the opposition? Who is head of SOKU? Just take a look. Who's head of ERC? Who's head of DPP? Just take a look. Just take a look and understand what is happening. And so Hicken going now will pave the way for guess who? Budram. Just guess. That is what is happening in Guyana. Just thought I'd tell you. Just thought I'd let you guys know that before I go again. Guyana has gone to the dogs. For Guyana, right? Gone to the dogs. So long.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours a blackout, and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set to girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clout. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratons too. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up.
Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
Nou wè kon an tou kou li chame. Di fè kon ki a bele, black bush a bele, se fucking police. Nou wè kon fi tou bari. A bele ka bele mama papa ya. Omo he.
So it's in the rice price.
The rice price something to do, they go track with me, man, somebody. They attack to know why they come tell me why nothing.